Do you want to create more Instagram Reels but get stuck on what to post? I hear you. That's why I'm excited to share our new free resource, the Reels Prompt Playbook for ChatGPT. This playbook includes 20 ready-to-use AI prompts for Reels, hooks, and captions, and makes it super easy to create trendy content that grabs attention without spending endless hours scrolling Instagram for inspiration. Whether you want to share behind the scenes, offer quick tips, or tap into the latest trends, the Reels Prompt Playbook has you covered. Download your free Reels Prompt Playbook at DIY.ai/Reels. And the best part, these ChatGPT prompts are designed to work for entrepreneurs in any industry. Plus, you can pair these prompts with any trending audio or any video that you find on your phone. Basically, they're super easy, super quick, and will keep your content super authentic while saving you loads of time and headache. Grab your free playbook now at DIY.ai/Reels and start showing up on Instagram consistently today.
Loads. It gave me sort of 15, 20 clips, which is brilliant, but too much. And you've got to go through. And then I've got too many clips now and it's decision fatigue because there's just too many things to do. Whereas with Descript, you can put in how many. So I'm going to limit it. I'm going to say I want 3 or 5. I'll do that. I can always come back to it and it's in there. They don't disappear. And what I found about Opus was you can only edit them for up to 30 days and then they're gone, which I didn't like. I just like that it's all housed in one place.
Welcome to Authentic AI for Entrepreneurs, the podcast that shows you how to leverage the power of AI technology without wasting your time or selling your soul. Let's embrace making AI work for you. Hey, my human friend, and welcome to the Authentic AI podcast. I'm your host, Kinsey, and today's episode is super awesome. We are chatting with actually one of our Authentic AI longtime students. Her name is Lisa, and she is a fitness coach in the UK, and she has been really starting to use AI tools in her own business in a way that works for her. And so in today's conversation, we are talking a lot about a few different ways that you can just start to use AI tools in your business in a way that's not going to feel overwhelming or doesn't require a complete overhaul of your already established workflows. And I really love Lisa's approach to business and life in general. We really talk a lot as well about how these tools can open up space for us to find our creativity, to go do the things in life that we really love and enjoy. And so I know you're going to love this conversation just as much as I did. If you do, don't forget to share it with another business friend who could also use to listen to it. And while you're at it, why not leave us 5 stars or a friendly review on whatever podcast platform you're listening to this on, because it really will help us to continue spreading our authentic AI message. All right, let's go ahead and dive right in. Hi, Lisa. Thank you so much for coming on Authentic AI for Entrepreneurs. I'm so excited to bring you on the show, lady.
Hi, Kinsey. I'm very excited to come on the show and chat to you all about AI.
Oh, yes. We are going to be getting super nerdy for sure. But before we dive into that, I'd love for you to tell us, who are you? What do you do? Who do you serve?
Yep. So I'm Lisa. I'm a female fitness coach and virtual personal trainer. And I help women who are busy, working women who are either running their own business or working in a job. I help them to find time to fit in movement throughout their day using micro habits, micro movements so that they can keep moving, they can get strong, they can build confidence, and we can just be ready for whatever the world throws at us.
Oh, I love your take when it comes to fitness and the micro movements. But today's conversation is going to be nerding out about AI tools.
Yep.
So I always like to kick things off by just asking, how did you first start hearing about AI and dipping your toes into using these tools?
Yes, I think it was like ChatGPT kind of first came out, and a coach that I was working with, Michelle from Brown Mary, told us about it and said, there's this new tool, let's give it a try. And so I kind of started using it a little bit, but didn't really have the time to start getting into it. But then when I I launched my own podcast that I started last summer, I really used it to start researching, and like it helped me come up with a name for my podcast. It helped me create the scripts and the outline. And now I use it to repurpose and do research and all those sort of things. So it's really sort of started dripping more into my business and helping me to save time, be more effective and efficient and things like that.
Yeah. Oh, congrats. Coming up on a year of your podcast. I love it. Yeah. I was actually interviewed on Michelle's podcast too about all the AI stuff. And I love when more women can start embracing these tools and learning how to use them, especially because it is funny how we sometimes feel guilty getting tools to do more work for us. A lot of things I hear from my audience, and I heard from actually Michelle and another person in Brand Mary, is, really not wanting to make your brand like robotic or feeling guilty that it's doing the stuff for you. Do you struggle at all with that when you start using these tools?
No, I think my approach is, and this is what I help my clients with as well, is using what you've got to help you get more time. So if I can use tools like AI to give me more time, then I've got time to look after myself and start putting myself more at the top of my to-do list to be able to go out. I know you love to go out and do your climbing and things like that. So no, but I definitely know that as women, we really struggle to put ourselves first and to ask for help. We want to do everything ourselves and we're like, oh no, I have to do it, otherwise it doesn't count, sort of thing. But yeah, so I think definitely as women in general, we tend to struggle with getting help and using things. But I definitely think we should embrace it. It's brilliant. And yeah, going back to what you were saying about not wanting to sound like a robot, I get it. But yes, I think learning how to use it, and that's why I love your approach. And I've done quite a few of your courses. So shout out to your courses. They are all brilliant. So definitely your listeners should check them out if they want to learn how to use it properly. I know I've just done your Content Made Easy course, and that was amazing for learning how to prompt ChatGPT, for example, how to sound like me and how to work with it like an assistant rather than just saying, give me a post, give me a podcast episode. You put in generic prompts, it's going to give you generic output. So to really program it and work with it like it is an assistant.
Totally. Oh my gosh. I have loved having you as a student in my authentic AI stuff. It's just so fun to have all these different people from different parts of the world and different industries. And we could all just nerd out and learn with each other how we can use these tools in the best way. And you know what's so funny too? I absolutely love what you said about it giving you time to actually do the things that you want to do and stuff. Like I definitely have struggled with that issue of not necessarily the guilt of using these tools, but sometimes, I don't know if it's women or certain people in general, feel like I have to do it because I will do it right. And I don't trust something else to do it like for me or something. So I feel like there's something there. But also I've started using these tools and I'm doing like so much more quickly. And I'm still driving myself straight into burnout because I'm like, okay, that means I'm going to be able to do more and stuff. So honestly, like just the past month, I've been doing more rock climbing. I've been making time to go on runs. I'm just finally, being like, oh, wait, yes, these tools can give me more time to do these things while still being as productive as I would be without using them.
Yeah. And I think going back to what you said, it's about letting go of control. You're not giving over your whole business to AI. You're kind of using it as a sounding board, as your assistant. Because I think a lot of entrepreneurs, maybe they work on their own, maybe they have a small team, but I definitely work on my own. And I'm like, oh, it's really nice to have a sounding board and just someone to chat back and forth with. But overall, and I know you're very, very big on this, overall, you're in control of your business. You're in control of what you say. So it's up to you to take that output, work with it, prompt it using great prompts, and then look at it and run it through the filter of your business, run it through your critical thinking skills. Does that sound like me? Is that correct? AI is not always right. Make sure you're fact checking. I've done a lot of studying looking at research papers and things, and you have to be very careful. Just because it's scientific research doesn't necessarily mean it's great. You have to look at where the biases are. You have to look at who's paid for it, all that sort of thing. And it's the same with AI. You can't just take it for word what it comes out with. But yeah, definitely running it through the filter of your own brand and being authentic to you.
Yeah, I don't. But seriously, I think that this is a shift that I've I've only recently realized that we need to be talking about more so is you can get these tools to just do an entire task for you. And there are ways and prompting techniques that you can get it to do a task very similar to how you would do it anyway. But how I've been finding the most productivity is literally working back and forth with these tools, right? So even like yesterday, when I first started my Feel Good Social podcast, I used to like write out the script for every single episode because I was so nervous. I'd get like the sweats behind the microphone. And then slowly over 5 years, I'm like, whatever, you know, but I haven't really gone off like a script for a podcast episode in a hot minute. Yesterday, I was playing around within Descript, actually writing my script in Descript, which was really fun and actually way easier than I thought it was going to be. And I had Descript's underlord write the script. I gave it the outline of like the tips I wanted to share with it. And then it wrote the script. I was just like, okay, this script is like 70% there. You know, I gave it the tips that I wanted to hit within the podcast episode. And then it literally took me like 15 minutes to edit it myself. It ended up looking fairly different than the original underlord gave me or whatever. But it was still just such a quick, easygoing process back and forth. And like, was I expecting it to just completely do all the work for me? No. But like, did it save me hours? Oh, yes it did, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, you can use AI to sort of go back and forth and work with it to come up with something. Or you can, like you said, you can chuck it in. Like I record all my podcast episodes in Descript. So I record them directly in there. What I've started doing recently is taking the transcripts of it, using the AI tool in Descript and getting it to write me a blog post. It's using my own words, so I don't need to prompt it as much, and it gives me a pretty good output of a blog post and a little bit of tweaking. But again, that's saving me massive amount of time. And then with the video as well, you've got the clips tool in there. It's brilliant as well. So again, you put it in, you say I want 5 clips, and then you go in a little bit of light editing, export it into Google Drive, done. Again, it's saving you so much time. But then on the flip side of that, you don't have to use AI for everything. You can still, if you love writing, you can still write. Maybe you use it to start off and then, or to get some ideas, you brainstorm with it, and then you're like, I'm going to take this idea, I'm going to write it out because I love writing stories and things like that. You can still can use it as much or as little as you want. So I think you are still the CEO of your business. Yeah, there's so many ways.
Heck yes, lady. Okay, let's geek out just a little bit about Descript because I know that you are also a Descript user and I have definitely been diving way deeper into it. And I also know that you were, like me, a Descript and OpusClip user. Yep. So for anyone who doesn't know, you know, Descript is the all-in-one video editing software. It's really great at the long-form video editing and like for audio and stuff like that. But their clips feature used to be pretty clunky is how I describe it. And they recently, at this time of this recording, went through an update where they made it way easier and better. Before this update, I was using Descript, I'd throw it into YouTube, then I'd throw the YouTube link into OpusClip, which is the clip finding software. Now that I'm using the Descript clip finder, I honestly think that Descript finds clips better than Opus. Yeah. I don't know. Have you been noticing anything?
I've not used it so much, but definitely it's giving very similar output. And I've literally just cancelled my OpusClip subscription because I was like, I pay for Descript. You can get a free plan with Descript, but I've got a paid one, so it gives me the AI tools and things. And I was like, there's no point paying for 2 things if it's doing basically the same job. And what I was having to do was I was having to download the video from Descript, upload it into Opus, and then wait for half an hour for it to output. And it would output loads. It gave me sort of 15, 20 clips, which is brilliant, but too much. And you've got to go through, and then I've got too many clips now, and it's decision fatigue because there's just too many things to do. Whereas with Descript, you can put in how many, so I'm going to limit it. I'm going to say I want 3 or 5. I'll do that. I can always come back to it, and it's in there. They don't disappear. And what I found about Opus was you can only edit them for up to 30 days, and then they're gone, which I didn't like. I just like that it's all housed in one place. I'm using it. I still think OpusClips is a brilliant, I'm not saying it's not. I still think it's really good, and I love the editing features in it. And for someone who maybe records their podcast somewhere else, they upload it to YouTube, brilliant. You just stick the link in and it's done. But yeah, I do. I'm really happy with them. I think they give me some good clips.
Yeah, I mean, It is. It's just one of those things. It's been one of the hardest things to navigate, especially as the host of an AI podcast, where finding boundaries with the tools that you use and streamlining as much as possible, because there are a lot of tools out there that can do similar things. And my whole thing with the Descript versus the OpusClip is, at one point before this Descript update, it really was worth it for me. And I don't like that about OpusClip, that it was only hosting them for 30 days. Even when you were paying. Stuff like that. And I'm like, ugh. But yeah, it was worth it for me, my time to pay for both of them before, because Descript's thing was so clunky. But now it's easier. I've honestly been finding, so with OpusClip, and maybe it's just, sometimes I blame it on my mumbling. I don't know. But like, it was, the last few times I used it, it was giving me like really weird clips, and it'd be like kind of halfway cut off sentences and stuff like that. And yeah, you'd have to go in and edit each and stuff like that. And with Descript, I found that actually the clip finding thing is pretty good. And I'm really enjoying Descript. So let's talk about any other ways that you've been really loving using AI tools in your business right now.
Yeah. So the main one that I use is probably same to you, is ChatGPT. Love it. That's my main thing that I use. And I just started using the free version. I think the free version is great. And just recently, it's all your fault, I upgraded to the pro version, to the 4, which I'm really loving. Yeah, I think it gives really good outputs with the 4. And then obviously we've just had the new update with the Omni. There's so many choices. And it's, do I need to pay for the premium if I can get similar things? But at the moment, I think, like, we've had this chat before, like we're always chatting in messages about it, which I love. I don't know. I'm still sort of, I keep flicking between the two. Like, I'll do a prompt, I'll do it in 4, and then I'll switch it over and I'll get it to regenerate the prompt in Omni. Sometimes I prefer one over the other. I think for now I'm going to keep them both. But yeah, I really do love using ChatGPT. And I think the more I've learned through you and doing your courses and practice as well to use it to work with me, I'm just getting such great outputs from it. So yeah, I really love using that tool.
Oh, I love it. We have been geeking out, Lisa and I, about what actually is better. The ChatGPT 4 Turbo, which is the plus version before the Omni came out, or the ChatGPT 4o. And I know I keep going back and forth with which one do I prefer. I feel like there are probably some changes happening behind the scenes, of course, always with OpenAI, but sometimes I do prefer the 4 Turbo responses, and sometimes I do prefer the Omni responses. I have recently seen quite a few complainers about the Omni model, which is funny. Yeah, like my AI girls that I'm following on Instagram, they're all like making jokes like Omni sucks and stuff, which it's just so funny to me, because these models have a mind of their own. It's kind of like a human almost. I feel like they have hormonal days. I feel like they like go back and forth sometimes. Like one week, one model's doing awesome. Like I was laughing. I think I've shared this on the podcast before, but the one time that I actually tried to, in the Content Made Easy course, I was doing an example with you guys. It was the first time we'd used Omni after it came out. And I was like, okay, guys, let me show you, how I would prompt ChatGPT to write me a caption. And then I'll go through and show you how I'll ask it to edit it. And it like threw up a caption, and I was like, actually, I don't think I would really do much to this one. This is crazy. But I will say, since then, I have tried to get it to write me a caption. It does seem to be a little bit more like generic ChatGPT sometimes. So I don't know. To try to figure out these.
Oh, no.
Have you been wanting to add AI tools to your business, but you're feeling overwhelmed by all the options? I feel you. There are so many AI tools out there, it's hard to know which ones work well and which ones will work for you. That's why I'm excited to introduce our new free resource, the Authentic AI Tech Toolkit. This is our thoughtfully curated library of tried and tested AI tools that are specifically recommended for solopreneurs like you. From everyday business tasks like organizing and automating to content creation, video editing, copywriting, and more, our Authentic AI Tech Toolkit is dishing up recommendations for tools that our community has been loving to use in their business and lives. Gain access for free right now at diywith.ai/toolkit. And go find those AI tools that will be super helpful for you and your business. Ready to find AI tools that are perfect for you and start making your tasks and to-dos a little easier? Simply head to diywith.ai/toolkit to sign up for free right now. platforms.
Yeah, but I suppose they are coming off, I don't know what it's called, but it's being programmed, isn't it? So it's being fed information all the time. I know it's not updated in real time. It is slightly backdated, but it is learning off all the prompts we're putting in. And I know listening to one of your recent episodes, you did an interview with, I can't remember her name now. What was the guest you had?
Dr.
Nikki. And she was saying about the fact that the people who are programming it to start with, these models when they're first learning, a hugely high percentage of them are men. So they're the one putting in the stuff. So that's why we need definitely more women using the software so that we're getting our voices in there. We're getting our way of speaking in there. Yeah, I know we've been talking about that, about making sure that we are out there using it and encouraging women to use more software, use AI and get confident in it, use it to help you. I think it's important that we have our voices out there as well. So we are helping to feed it.
I so agree, lady. And also too, I love that you brought up that conversation with Dr. Nikki. And something I've been thinking about more lately as well is I do think that women are slightly more concerned with the image that they're sharing with the world. Right? And so that's why it's really important to us to not lose our authenticity, to like show up in that authentic way. And we don't just want to use these tools and copy paste their responses and start sounding like a robot. And I think that the solution is I truly feel the difference myself with the prompting techniques that I shared with you guys in the courses and stuff, with being able to firstly train ChatGPT on your brand's voice and all that different stuff. Also bring your opinions and ideas to it. And then also work with these tools to be more productive without sacrificing your authenticity. Can you like speak a little bit more to how better prompting techniques and skills really does help to do that?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. So I've been using ChatGPT, for example, for a few years. And I think definitely the more I've learned from you with the prompting techniques, it's given me so much better outputs. There's been some times in the past where I've been like, oh, I can't be bothered to write this post. I'm going to try do it in ChatGPT, and then spend ages and ages like prompting it. Oh no, that doesn't sound like me. That doesn't sound like me. Oh, scrap it. I just won't do it. And then you give up and you end up not doing what you want to do, or just get frustrated, and it's really annoying and you end up wasting so much time. But I think the more I've learned to use the prompts and like how you teach, like using the layered prompts, not just write me a caption or whatever. It's this is who we are. This is my brand. You know, this is all the information about my brand. Have you got that? Are you okay? Let's keep going. We're going to write this. We're working on captions today. This is the thing. Can you tell me, you know, what sort of thing? And keep layering it. Yes, that might take a little bit longer to start with, you might think, but in the overall time that you're taking to do it is a lot shorter, and you get such a better output. You get things like, I've definitely put things in, like when we're working on the course, I put things in about my business, like when we were first starting off and creating like a brand profile for ourselves. And I put in all about my courses and about my programs and about my business. And then it like fed it all back to me. It summarized it for me and gave me some information. I was like, that is amazing. Oh, wow, my business looks so good. And gave me loads of ideas that I never would have thought of. So I definitely think the more that you can work with it and create sort of prompts that are for you, like you see it all the time online, get these 50 prompts that has helped me do this or follow my exact thingy. That works maybe for that one person. We're all unique. We've got unique businesses. We've got unique backgrounds. There might be other fitness trainers out there, but we've got completely different backgrounds. We're different people. We've all got different interests. We've got different lives and things. So why would we want to use generic prompts? We are unique individuals. We've got unique businesses. We bring unique skills to the table. So we definitely need to be working with it and using prompt techniques that are unique to us and our business.
And that's exactly, I think more of us need to hear that like it is possible with these tools, but it really is just a few tweaks and a few training, even documents that you can create for these tools is just so huge, the difference it can make. And so guys, what Lisa was talking about is the brand blueprint that we create in Content Made Easy with ChatGPT, which I think I'm going to turn into kind of its own little course on the side, just because I feel like that's so helpful. I use my brand blueprint all the freaking time. Basically, it's this one Google Doc, guys, that you put all the important information about your brand, your offers, your audience, your voice, all that stuff. And then I love that you can just like upload it to ChatGPT so easily with the file upload, which is now free to everyone. So awesome. And one thing I love that you did in the course too was you started diving into maybe creating your own like personal brand and like the storytelling for yourself and stuff, which I need to do for myself with my businesses too, because I just see how that's so so helpful. But did you have any fun little takeaways or insights from starting to dabble in that?
It was, because I just think what attracts us, if we're talking about marketing our business online, what attracts me to people is, okay, first of all, yes, they're, say, a business coach or whatever I'm looking to work with, tick, got that. But then what draws me to them is their values, what their interests are. Maybe they've also got a background in theatre or dance or something, or they're also interested in reading the same books or whatever. All those little connections, I really think make a big difference. And the more we can weave them into our branding and into our story. I had some great fun working with ChatGPT. I used the similar prompts that we used for creating our brand blueprint, which is amazing. I'm the same. I upload it all the time. Makes it so much quicker. I can just say, I want to work on this particular topic or whatever I want to work with you with today. And I upload that. Can you read this? Okay, let's go. It's instantly got all my information. But so working, using those similar prompt techniques to create that, it came up with some really good insights, like TV programs that I like to watch, books I like to read. And it's had these little prompts that I could then put in that when I'm working on content or marketing materials and things for my business, I can put those little nuggets throughout, sprinkle me throughout my brand, so that it's those little connection points that I think are really important in our businesses.
Yes. Oh, I love it. I know. Yeah. The cultural references, just like things like that are so great for like maintaining our human sides. And again, it's just thinking about these tools aren't going to take over your life or business. You can actually work with them and still work with them in these human ways and be thoughtful about the human elements that you're incorporating into your brand. And like these tools can help you along the way with that even too. I know I recently go in on spurts where I'm like, I love the Enneagram, and I'll be like, oh, let me look up my astrology. And then last week I was like, okay, I'm going to look up my human design because I like listened to a podcast about it. And I threw that into ChatGPT. I did my husband's. I threw his into ChatGPT. I was like, how can these two work together? I was like, how do these mesh? What insights do you have for me as far as communication? And it was actually like really interesting. It's just interesting all these different ways that you can think about using it. And also there are tools and ways that you can explain like more of your human side to ChatGPT too, right? I think that people don't realize is that if you tell it more about yourself and what you care about, or even just give it insights into the way that you think and the opinions you have, it'll try to understand you as best it can.
Yeah. And then it can help you, going back to what we were saying about saving time and things. But the more you've worked with it and the more you've trained it to understand you and your brand and your personality and all those little things about you that make you, because we are more than our businesses. So it's good to know things about us outside of our business. But then it gives us time to work in our zone of genius as an entrepreneur, like as a fitness coach. I know bodies, I know how to work with bodies, how to get them stronger, how to help them get better when they're injured, things like that. I haven't learned about marketing and all these other things that we have to do. Like, I know you talk about wearing these different hats and things. So it helps us to be able to spend less time doing the stuff that we don't know about so much without having to hire a whole team. Because, when you first start, you don't have the money necessarily to hire a whole team. So it helps us with all those things. So then we can spend time in our zones of genius, whatever it is, creativity or whatever it is we're really good at, working with our clients if we're working with clients, if that's your business, or creating your products if you're a product business. It really just gives us that time back to be able to do more of why we started our business in the first place. The more we look after ourselves and we do things outside of our business that helps with creativity, so whether it's writing for fun or reading or exercise is brilliant for helping us feel better. So the more we look after ourselves, the better we are, the more we can give back to our clients, the more our brain has time to process things. We need time sometimes for our brain to just do nothing, to think about nothing. So if you're out on a run or a walk, you're in nature, you're just looking around, we're off our phones, we're off our computers. Like, we're on our computers so much nowadays, especially a lot of us are online entrepreneurs on the computer, talking to clients online and things. So having that time away, so using these tools to help us to save time, then it gives us the time to go away, get that space, get that headspace, nourish our bodies, nourish our minds, our mental health, our physical health, and then just have that space for creativity. And then we come back and we're like, now I've got loads of ideas. And whether you then sit down and you write your own copy, or you're back on ChatGPT getting it to help you, or you're using it to maybe map out your content plan, but then you're like, oh, brilliant, now I can write this myself. It either helps you start sometimes, like I do that, sometimes it helps me start and then I carry on, or it helps me finish, like you said. I always write too much. So if I want to make it short, I'm like, can you condense this a little bit? And then it gives me a whole load the stuff and doesn't sound like me. And I'm like, can I use my own words to condense this? And then you get something a bit better. So yeah, it's good all around.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. And you just brought up one more thing that I have been geeking out about lately too. So, okay, going back to Descript, which has the underlying AI feature and stuff. And one of the features is edit for clarity. And I have to tell you, I have been loving using this because it's not always right, but I love the interface of editing within Descript in this way because it just crosses out what it thinks needs to be edited for clarity, and I can like revert it or whatever and bring it back if needed, right? So that's one of those things that's a little annoying with ChatGPT. There's no way to like edit within its interface and stuff in that way. And so actually with Descript, I've been loving recording myself just like riffing on an idea or topic, and then I can like go in and kind of like edit myself in that way too within Descript. So yeah, I've been playing around with Descript kind of in that way lately. It's been really fun.
Yeah, I like Descript how it's got, you're working off the transcription. So even if you've recorded voice or audio or video, it's got the transcription and you can edit it via the transcription. So it's a lot easier rather than listening to the whole thing. You can go through, okay, this is the bit I want to just delete this word, or this section where I've said something wrong and I want to go over it again. It's a lot easier. I just really like the interface of it. It's good.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, especially with their new update. Man, before it wasn't necessarily the only tool I recommend, but now I'm like, heck yeah, I'm thinking Descript is like the way to go. Anyway, lady, I know I could talk to you forever, but I will go ahead and close this conversation for now. But thank you so much for just coming and geeking out about AI with us. Can you please share how everyone can find you and connect with you?
Yeah, of course. So I'm on Instagram, probably the easiest place to connect with me online, at Lisa Beckwith, or you can go to my website, find out all about me. You can find my podcast on there, blogs, all sorts of things on there. And it's lisadawnbeckwith.com. So nice and easy to try and remember. But yeah.
Awesome. And we thank you so much.
That's okay. It's lovely to be on and chatting more about AI. So thanks for having me, Kinsey.
How great was Lisa, you guys? Every time I chat with this woman, she just brings just this bundle of joyful energy into my life that I truly adore. So if you love this conversation as much as I did, don't forget to share it with a business friend who could also use to hear this message. And while you're at it, why not leave us 5 stars or a friendly review on whatever platform you are listening to this on, because it truly does help us to continue growing our Authentic AI community and just spreading that Authentic AI message. All right, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week, and I'll catch you next time I catch you. Thank you so much for tuning in to Authentic AI for Entrepreneurs, my friend. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your shows.